Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday. It's the Week 12 recap show for all of today's action, including the Sunday night game. And we'll talk about all that in just a moment. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday Week 12 trivia question, and it's a Browns trivia question. Which of these ex-Browns earned Super Bowl rings after leaving the Browns? And I'll have the answer later in the podcast. It's Week 12 of the NFL. It was Week 12 this week of the NFL season, and we've had a lot of great NFL action. A few games went to overtime and some crazy upsets as well. Oh boy. What a big win for the Cleveland Browns today. As in overtime, as they beat Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 23-17 today at First Energy Stadium. And if Sunday was Jacoby Brissett's final start for the Browns this season, he will have quite a highlight to go out on. On fourth down with less than a minute to go versus the Buccaneers, Brissett fired one down the middle to tight end David Njoku in the end zone. The Browns tight end came up with possibly the team's best catch of the year, and which was David Njoku scored the game-winning touchdown in the final seconds of overtime with one hand that gave the Browns a big win over Brady and the Bucs. And this is one game they wanted to win and needed to win. And I'm going to recap it for you right now and give out game balls as well. So I'm going to go over the highlights of the game. All right, first quarter. The Browns scored their first touchdown of the game. And it was, first and 10 at the Tampa Bay 31. I think it was it was first and 10 at the Tampa Bay 51. The last name was, I'm trying to figure, Anthony Schwartz. Excuse me, I am so sorry. All right, now. It was first and 10 at the Tampa Bay 31, as I said, and it was Anthony Schwartz, right end for the 31-yard touchdown, and it was a handoff to Kareem Hunt to pitch a 10-yard touchdown to Anthony Schwartz. Cade York's extra point was good, and it was 7-0 Browns. But the Buccaneers would answer back. And it was 3rd and 5 at the Cleveland 10. Tom Brady passed short to Chris Godwin for the 10-yard touchdown. There's a penalty on Denzel Ward, defensive pass interference, which declined. And Succop's extra point was good, and it was 7-all. Browns and Bucs tied. Then the Browns got into field goal range. And then it was 4th and 8 at the Tampa Bay 33. Cade York's 51-yard field goal was good, and it was 10-7 Browns. And then Tampa Bay had to punt after going 3 and out, 3 plays and 8 yards. Then the Browns had to punt after going 3 and out, 7 plays, 16 yards. 10-7 Browns at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, the Bucks had to punt again after going 3 and out. And it was after 3 plays and 8 yards. And then the Browns got in field goal range again. 4th and 17 at the Tampa Bay 21. Cade York's 39-yard field goal was no good. It went wide left, and it remained 10-7. But then Brady and the Bucks got into field goal range. Sokop's a 42-yard field goal was good, and it was the Browns and Bucks were tied at 10. Then the Browns had an interception. 4th and 6 at the Cleveland 47. Jacoby Brissett pass deep middle intercepted by Edwards at the Tampa Bay 2. At the Tampa Bay 2 for a touchback. It was a touchback, and then it was tied at 10 at halftime. In the third, the Bucks had the punt after going 3 and out. 3 plays, no yards. And the Browns had the punt after going 3 and out. 3 plays, no yards. But then the Bucks scored their second touchdown of the game, and it was Sokop's. It was Tom Brady pass short right. Excuse me, 3rd goal at Cleveland 5. Tom Brady pass short right to Kifetz for the 5-yard touchdown, and it Sokop's extra point was good, and it was 17-10. Bucks with the lead. Then the Browns had the punt after going 3 and out. 5 plays, 23 yards. And then the Buccaneers had the punt after going 3 and out. After 3 plays and 4 yards. And the Browns had the punt after going 3 and out. 3 plays, 7 yards. And then the Buccaneers had the punt after going 3 and out. 6 plays, 28 yards. It was 17-10 at the end of the third quarter. In the fourth, the Browns had a turnover on downs, and it was Jacoby Brissett pass incomplete deep right to Amari Cooper for no gain, and it was a turnover. And Brady and the Bucks got the ball back. Then they had the punt after going 3 and out, 3 plays, 7 yards. Then the Browns had the punt after going 3 and out, 9 plays, 18 yards. Brady and the Bucks had the punt again after going 3 plays, minus 10 yards. And then the Browns scored their second touchdown of the game. Jacoby Brissett passed short middle to David Njoku for the 12-yard touchdown. This was coming down in the final seconds of the fourth quarter. Cade York's extra point is good, and the Browns and Bucks are tied at 17. And Cade York kicked it out from 65 yards from the Cleveland 35 to the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10, Tampa Bay 25. Tom Brady's pass short right to Ramondre White, Rondamore White to the Tampa Bay 25 for 1 yard. And then 2nd and 9, Tampa Bay pass deep left to Jones to Cleveland 48 for the 26-yard gain. 1st and 10, Cleveland 48. The Tampa Bay Tom Brady pass incomplete short right to Curtis Bright for a no gain. And then 2nd and 10, Tom Brady pass incomplete deep right to Greg Delpit deflected it, and we are going to overtime. The Browns and Bucks went to overtime. The Buccaneers had the punt after going 3 and out. 8 plays, 18 yards. And the Browns had the punt after going 3 and out. 3 plays, minus 8 yards. And Brady and the Bucks had the punt again after going 3 and out. 5 plays, 16 yards. But then in the final seconds, with less than a minute to go in overtime, it was Nick Chubb, right guard for the 3-yard touchdown. Penalty on Tampa Bay. It was on Keith Neal, I think it was, defensive offside, but it was a touchdown for Chubb, and that meant, and nonetheless, the Browns get a big win over the Bucks today. The final in overtime, 23-17, and that was indeed one of the best catches of the year. And Nick Chubb went over 1,000 yards today in this game, and it's only the second player in Browns history that has been able to do that. And that was for Tampa Bay. I was trying to figure. Oh, it's Rashid White. Excuse me. And oh, Chris Godwin. Excuse me, Chris Godwin. That's who I said before. Okay. Oh. And right now I'm gonna give out the game balls. I took the Bucks, and so did my brother-in-law. We both lost on that one. And it's time to give out the game balls for that game. Jacoby Brissett, 23 of 37, carries and attempts, 210 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Nick Chubb, 116 yards, 26 attempts, 1 touchdown. Amari Cooper, 7 receptions, 94 yards. I'm also giving one to Donovan Peoples-Jones for his efforts on special teams today, because they really stepped it up. And I'm also giving one to Amari Cooper as well, because he played very well, and he did score. He really put up some numbers today and really looked good on defense today. On defense today. So yeah, but the Browns with a big win today, and which was a good thing because they really wanted and needed to win this game, because Deshaun Watson returns to the Browns next week in Week 13 to play against his former team, the Houston Texans, and he has been at the Browns facility practicing since November 14th. He was there last week. He will be there this week practicing again, so he will indeed be playing next week. We'll get to the rest of the scores in just a moment. But right now, it is time to reveal the answer to today's Sky Sports 101 NFL Football Week 12 trivia question, which is the Browns one. Which of these ex-Browns earned Super Bowl rings after leaving the Browns? If you said Bernie Kosar, Ernest Biner, and Greg Pruitt, you are correct. Bernie Kosar won with the Cowboys, as you know, after leaving the Browns. And then Ernest Biner with Washington as a player, and with the Ravens as a coach, and Greg Pruitt when he was with the Raiders. And I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. Now, to give you the other scores. You already know about the 3 from Thanksgiving Day, which was the Bills beat the Lions 28-25, the Cowboys beat Giants 28-20, and the Patriots beat Minnesota 33-26. Now for today's scores. The Miami Dolphins were all over the Houston Texans today, as they just walloped them 30-15 today at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Boy, this was Miami had this one from the get-go today. And so I got to give the game balls to the Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa, Tyreek Hill, and I think it was Jeff Wilson. They get them. They get the game balls because they really look good today. The Cincinnati Bengals beat the Tennessee Titans 20-16 at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon get the game balls for that one. Well, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to upload this video and I'll come back with the rest of the scores. Stay with us.